All right, Chrissy. So this is the second time a never before seen twist has upended your game. I just want to know, how are you feeling about how everything went down?
Okay, so this twist, different than the fire making twist, I thought was an extremely awesome twist. Like, I think it was so cool that we had no idea what was going to happen when we got into pairs. And then we found out what was going to happen and got to vote separately. I think the twist was awesome. I was on the bad end of it, but I still think the game mechanic was really cool. And I had an amazing, I know you saw like none of my game, but I had an amazing 16 days. And so, yeah, my heart's pretty full.
How do you think things would have shaken out if you were paired with anyone else besides Coach?
Coach and I have talked about like, okay, whose fault was it that we got voted out? And we decided it really was like both of us. We both took responsibility and neither one of us blamed the other person. Yeah. I mean, Coach had all his coach shenanigans and he was certainly a target, huge target, right? I was the one who decided to go after Rizzo, not knowing how closely aligned he was with Queen Suri. Part of what came into the vote was how many idols were out there. So there were only 6 teams. One was immune and two had idols. So I guess then there were really only three choices.
Mm,
So it's like a final, that's like a final four thing. I don't know. Anyway,
that's
um,
tough.
yeah. So there weren't really a lot of options.
I'm curious why you wanted to go with the Rizzo Emily plan. Did you think there was traction there with other people? Why not just try to go for the easier target?
Realistically, I actually just really liked Rick and Aubrey. I just liked them. I wanted to play the game longer with them. Particularly, I find Rick Devens really an interesting player. I think he's very creative and fun in the way that he plays. And I just wanted more of that for season 50. I didn't really have any relationship with Rizzo at all. Not much with Emily. I did feel like voting for them, though Emily was, would have been my collateral damage. I would say it was more to save Rick and Aubrey than get rid of Rizzo and Emily.
So then we saw Devins pulls out this like fake idol
Oh,
shenanigans, right?
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, right? Is that like
Absolutely brilliant.
so great? I love it. Like, yeah, I love it. I actually I know that is like my downfall, but I couldn't wait to watch that season, that moment in the season because I thought it was so great.
Were you guys going to get voted off anyways, or do you think Devin's whole showboating situation, pushed people off the fence?
I don't know the answer. Obviously, Coach and I went into that tribal council believing that Devins and Aubrey were going home. But I don't want to underestimate what an amazing player Suri is. Would Suri have turned the whole group against me and Coach? Maybe the answer is it probably would have been Rick and Aubrey. Not that Suri didn't want me and Coach gone, but I think maybe the timing wasn't right. And I still look back and go, it's really a surprise that they voted out two loyal allies this early in the game.
Yeah, even what was it? It was Stephanie and Joe. Like, you caught a lot of votes from these
Yeah.
people that you were supposedly really aligned with.
And honestly, Stephanie and Joe flipping is the part that I'm the most surprised about. But I'll tell you that until I watched last night, I did not know that Suri was the mastermind behind that plan. I thought that Tiffany flipped Joe at the reward. I
Oh.
thought that she flipped Joe and convinced Joe to vote against me and Coach. And then they went and got the rest of the group mobilized for that. Props to Suri. And this again goes to show you how great Suri is playing because she just sort of like whispers in people's ears, like, anyway.
Speaking of whispering, you're now the Dragon Slayer Whisperer.
I know.
So, how hard was it to kind of wrangle Coach in? And like, how worried were you that he was going to have like one of his haiku explosions all over camp?
So I love Coach so much. And one of the many things that I think is so amazing about him as a human being is he is so like, he's just himself at all times. The day before, which was the D vote out episode, like last week's episode, was more crazy than it even appeared on TV with his like cooing and his singing nonstop and his shenanigans and dancing and all of that. So yeah, I really did go over and say, you need to be invisible and you need to lay down in that hammock and not get up. And he literally laid there for like 5 hours. So yeah, it was totally crazy. Then afterwards I was like, shoot, maybe I should have let Coach get out of that hammock because then maybe the two of us wouldn't have gotten voted out.
So on the flip side of all this, earlier in the season, Coach pulled you aside to talk to you about, maybe perhaps allegedly talking too much at camp. I kind of thought the way it was edited, I thought maybe like the message might have been okay, but it seemed kind of like rough how he delivered that message. How did you feel about it?
He got okay, so obviously I cried, right? But I was at no part of that was I ever upset with Coach. I think Coach got like a lot of online hate for how he spoke to me. He does not deserve any of that.
Okay.
Coach was my best friend out there. Like I love him. Him and Jonathan I was really close with. So when Coach told me, he told me like that because I think he knew we didn't have a lot of time before we were getting back to camp with other people. And because he just tells me stuff, like it's fine. We're like a brother and a sister duo. So there was no part of me that was upset with him at all. Was I upset that it got said about me? Yes. Did I get over it? Yes. You know why? Because now I was in a tribe that actually liked me. So I just got along really well with Genevieve and Colby and Joe, Aubrey. So, it's fine. Like the original tribe, maybe they didn't like me. It's fine. I like me.
Cool. I like you too.
Thanks.
Now, there's been some discourse about the women being under-edited, especially in the earlier part of the season. Angelina spoke on it. I've seen you post on social media. I wanted to give you the floor to see if there's anything else you wanted to add to that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do definitely think that the edits have certainly turned around. Mine never did, but it's fine. I did not come out here for followers or to become an influencer. I'm glad to see that they're starting to, though, just show sort of more well-rounded edits of the women. It just was a little bit of a surprise that, like, for example, Rizzo gets called lazy, but then we get to see Rizzo talking about, heck yeah, I'm lazy. That's not part of my game. Like, I'm not doing anything, right? So he gets, or Rizzo gets called, people don't like him. And then you hear a second goes, oh, he's actually pretty awesome, right? Angelina and me, they're like, oh, Angelina's lazy. That's the end of that story. Chrissy's annoying. That's the end of that story. So I'm glad to see that we're starting to see more, sort of more from some of the other women.
Now, I'm curious about all this talk about the people in the middle, right? Because if Devins, Aubrey, Christian, and Emily are the people in the middle, and you guys were the majority, why were they referred to as the middle? How did you kind of see like the board map of where everyone was?
I have literally no idea why they were the middle. There was a majority alliance, which we believed was 7. Clearly that was wrong, right? Because Sari, Ozzy, and Rizzo over here doing masterclass of Survivor playing. Yeah, because who would be on the bottom? Maybe we thought Rizzo was on the bottom. Who else is there? There is
Tiffany.
No one. Oh, Rizzo and Tiffany. Rizzo, Tiffany, D. Yes, probably they were the bottom people with the middle tier in our Survivor minds, which are clearly, they're unclear after, not sleeping and eating, and you only, everybody's lying to everybody else.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm giving everyone else their major props, right? They totally outplayed me.
What was the hardest part of competing on this season for you? And was this season more difficult than the Triple H?
They were totally different. The first time that you play, there is so much beauty in the entire thing. You're like, oh, wow, I'm sleeping outside. I'm sleeping on bamboo. Okay. This one, day one, we literally go to lay in the dirt. And I'm like, I'm too old to lay in the dirt. Like, I can't believe, what am I doing here? Like, literally, what am I doing here? Really just the sleeping. Honestly, the lack of eating did not bother me. And wearing the same clothes and never looking in the mirror is kind of glorious. Like, that's like just waking up and that's kind of great. I have always said the feeling I felt the most playing season 35 was loneliness. And I never felt that way playing 50. Like, I always had someone come over, to give me a hug, like an unasked for hug, like just come over and give me a hug or, bring me something or help me with something. That part was way nicer. If I could go back and play either one again, I'm playing Triple H again because I just did way better.
Now, we mentioned that you were like slightly under edited this season. So what didn't viewers see? What do you want people to know? What do you want to say?
Yeah, so I wasn't just like this random person hanging around in the back of the frame or like off the side of the frame who wasn't even in the frame, right? So, okay. So this is what happens when you don't go to tribal council for the entire pre-merge, right? You never have to actually make your moves. But yeah, what I would say is like there was a lot of love in that game. Oh, let me tell you this. I made the fire every day, and I could make the fire in like under 10 seconds. I was teaching people how to make the fire because I thought if I get to Final Four, I'm winning that Final Four fire making challenge.
Yeah.
If it exists. Yeah.
Well, I voted no on your behalf, so.
I voted no on my behalf too. Thank you so much. But I thought if they have it, I better know how to make this darn fire. What else? This I will tell you. Shoot, we're out of time. All of my preseason press, I said that I was not winning the first individual immunity challenge. And we're standing up there in the blood moon, the thing where we're standing in the things. And I literally said into my microphone, I'm like, is it just me and Stephanie up here? I'm like, all right, I could play the short game, easily win this thing. My feet didn't even hurt. I was like, I could win this thing and make it to, tomorrow, but then they know that I'm still good in challenges. I'm like, I think I have to play the long game. I literally said all this. Like, I can't believe they didn't actually show me saying this. I was like talking into my microphone, which was like right here. I'm like whispering into my microphone. I was like, or I could play the long game, which is put on the Elderly Lady Act. I can't do it anymore, and not turn on the gas until much later. And then I stood there for a minute and I said, okay, I'm playing the long game. That's when I said, Steph, you can take it. And I stepped down off my thing and gave that to her. They don't know that I did because then I went back and played the Old Lady Act, right?
Love it.
But I wish that made the edit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the people will know now. The people will know.
They will know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And really quickly before I let you go, how about a round 3? Are you up to do this again, or how are you feeling?
Nope. I'm done. I am totally done. My heart is full. I am so grateful for everything Survivor has done for me. I had 2 great experiences. I do not need to sleep in the dirt another day. I am happy to watch it on my television and root for everybody else who goes out there. But I feel completely fulfilled.